Good morning everyone. Hari ini saya akan mempresentasikan tentang definition of translation. Tapi perkenalkan saya Sheni Amanda Putri dan saya akan mempresentasikannya. Translation is basically a very complex phenomenon and insight about it in this interlingual activity is derived from several different disciplines such as linguistics, sociolinguistics, cultural anthropology, communication theory, and so on. Therefore, a good translator should try to enrich his or her knowledge and practice is translating in order to able to produce a good translation. We will discuss some aspects for translation in this book. Before discussing what actually translation is, it is necessary for us to know some definition according to some language expert. Following are some of many definitions. First, translation is here conceived primarily as a process of intercultural communication whose end product is a text which is capable of function appropriately in specific situation and context of use. Second, translation is the replacement of textual material in one language by equivalent textual material in another language. Catford, 1980. According to Catford, there are two lexical items to pay more attention, namely textual material and equivalent. Next. Third, translation is general term referring to the transfer of thoughts and ideas from one language source to another target, whether the language are written or oral form, whether the language have established autobiographies or do not have such standardizations, or whether on or both language is based on sign, as language as the Div Brislin 1976. Translation is basically a change of form. When we speak of the form of a language, we are referring to the actual words, phrases, clauses, sentences, paragraphs, and acts, which are the spoken or written. In translation, the form of source language is replaced by the form of the respector or target. Language Larson, 1984. Next. Translation is a craft consisting in the attempt to replace a written message and or statement in another language by the same message and or statement in another language. Newmark, 1981. Translation consists of reproducing in the receptor language the closest natural equivalent of the source language message. First, the terms of meaning, and secondly, in the term of style. Nida and Taber, 1982. Baiklah, selanjutnya akan dijelaskan oleh teman saya yaitu Saudari Lia.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Yuliati. Jadi di sini saya akan melanjutkan membahas materi yang sebelumnya bahas oleh Sheni Amanda Putri. Masuk ke poin types of translation. These are the principle of free translation. First, the translation should convey the ideas of the target language text, not the words. Next, the translation is like the text written in the target language in terms of its flexibility. And then the translation should have its own style. After that, translation should show the time of the writing of the text. The translation may add or reduce anything existed in the search language text. And last, a literary genre does not have to be maintained. Next. However, it should be noted that the translator should not change the genre of the writing if the idea still can be conveyed without changing the genre. Faithful translation, also called word-of-word translation is ideally the segmentation of the search language text into individual words and target 28 language rendering of those word segment on at the time. But in a real life translation, this ideals is often literally impossible and inflected word agglutinative search language, for example, can almost never be replaced with a single word in an exhaustive target language, and even when literally possible, the result is often unreadable. Hence, most so-called literal translations are in fact compromises with the ideal. Loser renditions that replace individual search language word with individual target language word wherever possible, and cling as closely possible to the search word order in the target language. In detail, the principle of failed translation are as follows. First, the translator should use the search language word, and then when the translation is read, it's like a translation. Third, the translation should show the style of search language. Fourth, the translation should show the time of the writing of text. Fifth, the translation should not add, reduce anything existing in the search language text. And last, a literary genre should be maintained in the translation. Alright, translation process. Translating envelopes two processes in the mind of the translator. In one side, translator should be focus his or her attention on the search language text and in the same time process it into target language text. We call this a progress of translation. According to Nida and Taber, 1982, there are two approaches in translating text from search language into target language. The first approach is based on application of a rule called surface structure of language. The process of translation consists of three things. First is analysis and understanding. In this process, the translator reads the search language text to understand the content of the text. In this stage, the surface structure and message in the search language is analyzed in the line with grammatical relations, meaning of words and combination of words, texture and contextual meanings. The second is transfer. In this progress, the material is analyzed and the meaning understood are processed in the mind of the translator from search language into target language. The last is restructuring. It means that if the equivalent of the meanings in the search language has been obtained, the translator should look for equivalent of word, expressions, and sentences in the target language. So I think that's all from me and my partner Sheni Amanda Putri about translation. Okay, thank you.